Morning. It is unbelievably humid. Probably 80–90%. I can't even read my watch. That's how humid it is. But still I have to do this swim, so heading to the gym to do my swim. Um, so I thought I'd do a quick video on a question that I keep getting very often on a regular basis, which is, do we need to take supplements or can we get all of our nutrition and micronutrients from food? And so to answer that question, let me start first by saying, okay, what do we mean when we say supplements? And there are two ways of looking at it. Supplements could be everything under the sun, or in my book, when I talk about supplements generally, I'm talking about vitamins and minerals specifically. So yes, there are other things like omega-3 or sport-specific supplements like creatine and glutamine and so on. And those have specific cases and specific uses, so I'll do separate videos on those. But generally we're talking about vitamins and minerals. And when it comes to vitamins and minerals, the obvious question is, can we get enough of those from food, or do we need to take extra supplements, right? And to answer that question, first, let's talk about how the body works when it comes to the use of these things. And what the main question you need to ask yourself is, what is the supply and demand balance when it comes to vitamins and minerals? So what I mean is, your body uses up vitamins and minerals for various functions. So that's the demand side of things, but there are certain elements that will increase the demand, so increase the use of those vitamins and minerals. And so there are factors that will impact the level of demand that your body needs in terms of vitamins and minerals. And on the supply side of things, basically if you're talking about getting them from food, are there things that impact the amount of vitamins and minerals in the food that you're eating? And are there things you can do from a dietary point of view to change the way you eat, to increase the level of vitamins and minerals to the level where your body needs them? So to get to that equal balance between the supply and the demand side. So let's start with the demand side of things. What impacts the demand side from your body? When it comes to both vitamins and minerals, what impacts the demand is essentially the level of stress that your body is under. So that could be physical stress, emotional stress, mental stress. They all increase the level of demand. So if you compare, for example, to 100 years ago, our sleep quality has declined significantly because of artificial light, because of artificial noises, because our stress level in the evening is higher than it used to be. So all of these things will impact the level of demand that our body has for vitamins and minerals because of sleep quality. Our immune system is exposed on a much regular basis to toxins, environmental toxins from the environment, air quality, people around us at work, people around us on planes, the electromagnetic exposure that we get from flying on planes. All of these things will impact the level of demand. So if you compare a human being today to a human being 100 years ago or even 50 years ago, the level of demand for vitamins and minerals that we have, even if you live a healthy lifestyle in a healthy location, is much higher than it used to be. So we're facing a situation where, compared to our ancestors, we have much higher demand for vitamins and minerals. So let's talk about the supply side of things. Do you know that feeling when you're sitting in a steam room and you feel like you can cut through the air with a knife because of how thick it is? That's what this felt like, swimming in a steam room. Every time I pushed the pace, I was having so much trouble breathing. It felt like breathing in water. That's how thick the air was. But anyway, the things we have to do for fitness. So minerals, right? So for thousands of years, human beings obtain minerals predominantly from plants. Now, some civilizations got all of their minerals from animals, so that is possible, but plants are a much better source of minerals in general, and like I said, for thousands of years. So when we're talking about minerals, we're talking about things like zinc, calcium, magnesium, and so on. The issue though today is that plants, as soon as they're plucked out of the ground, they start to leach those minerals. So first thing is, unless you're getting the you're eating the plant within the same day it was plucked or 24 hours later, you're not getting the minerals, or you're losing most of the minerals. Second thing is that plants get the minerals straight from the ground. So if you're replanting the plant in the same soil over and over again, which is what modern agriculture does, the soil gets depleted of minerals. And when the soil gets depleted of minerals, you're not going to get enough minerals going into the plant, which means when you eat that plant, you're not going to get enough minerals yourself. The third thing is that they are now using techniques and tools to make the plants grow faster. And when they do that, what happens is the plant grows faster. It doesn't have as much time to pull minerals out of the ground. So the concentration of minerals within the plant is much lower than it would be or would have been, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 200 years ago. So despite the use of fertilizers, despite the use of all of these types of things, in addition to the problem of pesticides and herbicides, of course, you're facing a situation where the amount of minerals in the plants that you're eating is much lower than it's been at any time in history, because the plant itself has less minerals in the ground, and then when you take it out of the ground during transportation, it loses a lot of those minerals. So that's the problem with minerals. Now vitamins are a bit of a different story, because vitamins, some of them you can get from plants, some of them you have to get from animals, like B12 and vitamin A. And before people jump into the comments saying, oh, you can get B12 and vitamin A from plants, no, you can't. The chemical formulation of what people think is vitamin B12 and A in plants is very different than the animal source. And human beings, we cannot absorb or transform, actually, rather, the B12 from plants and vitamin A from plants into the usable form that human beings can use. There's an enzymatic process that needs to happen, and human beings don't have that enzyme. Animals do, which is why you can really only get the proper B12 that your body can use, and you can only get the vitamin A that your body can use from animal products. But anyway, that's besides the point. So both plants and animals, they manufacture these vitamins. Unlike minerals where the plant can get it straight from the ground, vitamins are manufactured by the plants and by the animals. And that is impacted by a number of things. Ingredients for my morning smoothie. So let's start with the easy one. Animal-based vitamins like vitamin B12, vitamin A, vitamin D in some cases as well. Vitamin D in most cases other than the sunlight. So the amount of vitamins that you will find in animals is impacted by the lifestyle of the animal. So how it lived, how much it moved, and what it ate. So if you're eating animals that have been pasture raised, so they've been raised free range, they've been eating grass, or in the case of chicken, they've been eating, whatever chickens eat, so, worms and small insects and stones even, would you believe it? So if animals have been raised free range and have been eating basically wild food, just like they have for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, then you will get a high concentration of these vitamins in the animal products that you eat. However, even in that case, most of these vitamins are not in the muscle meat. Most of these vitamins tend to be in organ meat, such as liver, kidney. So unless you're getting a lot of those kinds of animal products into your diet, once or twice a week, even if you're getting a high quality, free range, organic meat, you're really not getting the full concentration of those vitamins that you need. But if you are getting these types of animal products, so organ meats in addition to some muscle meats throughout the course of every week, then you really don't need to supplement, because if you're getting high quality animal products and you're eating these types of things, you will get enough vitamin B12, you will get enough vitamin D, you will get enough vitamin A from these types of products. In the case of vitamins that you should obtain from plants or fruits, it's a bit of a different story. Because yes, just like animals, it gets impacted. So the concentration of these vitamins, like vitamin C, for example, the concentration of these vitamins in the plant does depend, just like in the case of animals, on what these plants actually ate, which means that where were they grown? If they were grown in healthy soil where they're getting, just as we talked about earlier, all the minerals, they're getting the exposure to the sunlight and they're getting exposure to the CO2 that they need, then those plants will manufacture a high concentration of vitamins. So you do get the high concentration of vitamins in those plant fruits and vegetables that are still in the ground or on the tree. But as we talked about in minerals, the moment you pluck them out of the ground or off the tree, these fruits and vegetables start to leach and start to lose these vitamins, which is a big problem for someone, especially if someone is vegan, and especially in the modern era where it's hard for us to get high quality, organic, farm fresh produce, right? That, of course, is also impacted by the amount of pesticides and herbicides that are sprayed on these plants and fruits and vegetables, because the more these are sprayed on these fruits and vegetables, the less the plant is healthy, because these, especially herbicides, what they do, and the pesticides as well, but herbicides, they tend to kill some of the healthy bacteria that help the plant actually manufacture these vitamins. So what you end up with is a plant that is depleted in vitamins, and that is depleted in minerals in many cases, because it's grown in the same soil over and over again, and you end up with really an inferior concentration of vitamins and minerals in that plant. And during transportation, it loses more of these as it gets to your plate. So unlike the case of animals, where you can actually get high quality organ meat from free range organic animal products from animals that have been raised in the wild or free range, in the case of plants, it's not that easy, because even if you're eating organic, the transportation process, the time it takes to get to your plate, you're losing a lot of those vitamins and minerals. Now again, in 100 years ago, 200 years ago, we didn't have the possibility of actually preserving, we didn't have fridges where we could keep things for a week or longer. We didn't have refrigerated airplanes and ships where we could transport these for days. Everything was fresh. So all the plants and fruits and vegetables we ate were fresh within a day or two of being taken out of the ground. So the concentration of vitamins and minerals was still relatively high. Today, however, this is not the case. So we end up in a situation where our body needs more minerals and vitamins. If you exercise on a regular basis, your demand for vitamins and minerals goes up. If your sleep quality is not perfect, your demand for vitamins and minerals goes up. If you're stressed at work, your demand for vitamins and minerals goes up. If you're stressed at home, your demand for vitamins and minerals goes up. If you are fighting off a virus or a cold, that happens again. If, like I said, if you're taking an airplane and so on and so forth, we live in an environment today, because of air quality, because of pollution, because of toxins, because we live indoors a lot of the time, we don't get as much exposure to fresh air and sunlight. Because of all these reasons, we have a situation where our body's demand for vitamins and minerals is very high. On the flip side, the supply of vitamins and minerals is very low, because we don't have access to farm fresh plants that we can get straight from the ground that are organic and with high concentration of vitamins and minerals. We don't get access on a regular basis for organ meats from animals that are free range and eating healthy food, healthy grass, healthy whatever, and we're getting those to our plate within a reasonable period of time. So we're in a situation where our body's demand is very high, the supply is very, very low, so there's really no choice for us but to have to supplement if you want to have an optimal level of health. Does this mean you can survive without supplements? Of course you can. But do you want to survive, or do you want to thrive? Do you want your body's performance, your mental performance, to be at peak all the time? Do you want to feel completely sore after a workout and broken down for days, or do you want to recover quickly? Do you want your sleep quality to be good, or do you want your sleep quality to be amazing? So all of these things are the reasons why I say it is really hard for us to get all of our vitamins and minerals without supplementation. Now, the quality of the supplements matter. You don't need to go and get all the, a multivitamin that has everything in it, or start popping pills left, right, and center. Personally, I only take 2 minerals every day, and I take 1 vitamin or 2 vitamins on a regular basis. That's it, because I manage my diet in a way where I can get most of my minerals and vitamins from high quality food sources, but I plug in those gaps. with certain additional vitamins and minerals. So, in fact, if you're interested in what I personally take, I actually have a free supplement guide. I'll put a link to that free supplement guide in the description for this video. I have a free supplement guide that shows you what I personally take and what I recommend for my family and friends to take. And it's divided in basically two parts. One part is the vitamins and minerals that I take on a daily basis. And then the second part is vitamins and minerals that I keep in the fridge to use tactically whenever I feel like I need to up my level of vitamins and minerals. For example, if I'm going on an 8-hour flight, there are certain vitamins and minerals that I will load up on before the flight, during the flight, and right after the flight to make sure that my body is protected from all the germs on the plane and also the EMF from flying at such an altitude basically in a metal tube, right? So there are certain vitamins and minerals that I take on a daily basis, and some that I keep and I use for specific circumstances. All of that, along with the explanation of why, are in the free supplement guide. And like I said, I'll put a link to that supplement guide in the description for this video. Hope you find it useful, and hope you found this video useful. Now this is the breakfast of champions, not cereal. Cheers.